happy.
They're almost like another category of people that they say are so dependable, and employees love to hire. They're called seniors.
Oh.
Yeah. And
so they have something. Eye on those jobs
they have something in common. Yeah, really.
Absolutely.
I mean, that means when you have resumes like that, that means you're dependable. They're probably on time. You know, which means a lot. You know, that clock that hangs on the wall with a tick and a talk for us all is there for a purpose.
They're proud of their job.
Sure.
Sure.
And they're proud of what they do.
There's a level of loyalty, and there's actually been some studies done on that to determine why they're so loyal. And a lot of us believe that it's because they haven't had the opportunities like the rest of us for so long to go to work.
Yeah.
That there's quite a level of loyalty.
Yeah.
Kevin, who has worked for the library system for 21 years. 21 years.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, but it's not really unfortunately, he got laid off this summer at the end of July when there were some city layoffs. But he's very positive about it. We're very positive with him. He's like, you know, I think it's time to do some volunteer work and retire. Isn't that normal?
Yeah,
you know,
that's normal.
So
that's normal.
So we look at it as like, oh, he lost his job.
Yeah.
But it's losing jobs and getting laid off is part of our society. You know, people with disabilities are going to be included in every aspect of employment. But you know, giving him the right support and his wonderful family, that he's looking at this as his next chapter in life.
Sure. And by him thinking of doing volunteer work.
How about that, huh?
Even though he's probably not retirement age, more than likely he's going to wind up with a permanent job sooner than later, because sometimes that's what happens.
Right.
Sometimes you create your own job by doing volunteer work, and next thing you know, opening happens and you fall right in.
Well, and with that extended service that we provide with follow along, that if he chooses to want another job, we're right back in there again.
Sure.
To help him with that.
Sure. Well, I guess we went through quite a few things here. You talk about community integration. Comment a little bit on that.
Well, one of our chief goals is the people we support. We want them to be just part of the community.
Okay.
Doing what everybody else does.
Oh, okay.
And of course, employment is one way to accomplish that.
No question about
and
it.
We also have other ways where we take them out to places. They go out to eat. They go to the zoo. They go to the library. Wherever you and I go.
So they're fully integrated into the community and all the activities, social things, zoos, ball games, and I imagine things of that sort.
And our staff are trained to assist them so they can fit in the community better. You know, they aren't out there on their own trying to maneuver and fit in.
Yeah, that's important. Funding-wise, where's your organization in terms of funding, with the economy being what it is? When you look at your funding in the good years, see a decline. Has there been a decline from last year to this year, and how you're trying to change that? In other words, think outside the box in order to try to remedy some of that.
There has been a decline for us. We're mainly funded through Medicaid waiver. Now, we take private pay. We have some vocational rehab funding for the employment. The bulk of our funding is through a Medicaid program.
Okay.
And it has been reduced, not drastically yet.
You never know, do you?
We're watching the federal budget real close.
Oh, yes.
We've always operated sort of on a shoestring budget, but I think in the last 2 or 3 years, we've gotten a lot better at operating low expense but high quality. That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
Great.
And we've learned ways to, give the same services just as well, but less expensive. It's a challenge.
Oh, no question about it.
But that's been our goal the last 2 or 3 years. We started preparing for this 2 or 3 years ago. We didn't wait till it was funding was cut. We
Right.
started working toward making sure that we took advantage of everything we could fund, but also cutting expenses and watching expenses. It's a fine line to walk because as a nonprofit, we don't have much of a margin there to work with.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Now, before we move on, what would you like to see the general public do in terms of serve? I know, and when I say that, I'm saying make your pitch to the general public. You're a nonprofit,
Right.
so that means that of course, you're a nonprofit 501c3, which
Correct.
means that all contributions can be written off on tax returns. They haven't changed the tax laws yet, thank God on that part. So, what's your pitch to the general public? Who should someone watching this program? Who should they call regarding a donation to your organization so you can continue to do what you're doing and even do it even better? Who would they contact? Who would they contact? Where would they call?
Who are you going to call? Right?
Yeah, who you going to call? Right. who are you going to call?
Naturally, we would love any donations. It is a very worthwhile cause.
Sure.
They would call Anthony Hicks
Okay.
at 312-6800, or they
Okay.
can call me, Jeffrey Bruton,
Okay.
at 312-6812. Either
Yeah.
one of us would walk them through the process to make a
Right.
donation.
Right.
We also love to get volunteers for different services, different
Okay.
things we do.
Sure.
And as far as the employment side, you know, the workshop is always looking for jobs to do in the workshop.
Sure, okay.
And Donna's employment concept staff are always looking for community employees who are willing to work with Donna and her staff and find jobs.
Okay. Now,
You know, if I could interject.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
As an advocate, I guess
Yeah.
there's something that I would like to ask the public. We support over 800 people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's a staggering number. We're a very large agency.
Oh, you are.
I think it's
Sure.
important that the general public become aware of providers like us and the services that are available and communicate with their legislators
Yes.
that this funding needs to continue, because what will happen to the 800 people if they don't have supported living, or the families don't have homemaker services or respite services or employment programs?
Right.
They will become a huge tax burden, I would think,
Sure. Oh, no
on
question.
the
Oh,
public.
no
And
question
that's
about it.
one thing that the public could do is talk to their legislators and say, whatever comes on the table, please fund it.
Yeah, please
We-
fund it. And if there's if there's somebody out there that's what I call it, my past generation used to call them big shots. Any big shots out there that's got some big shot money, I'm sure you guys will provide a tour for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Oh,
so-
we love to do tours,
Yeah.
and our clients
Yeah.
love to help us do
Yeah.
tours.
And I'm sure that that's available for them. Now, from an employer standpoint, Donna, what would you like to see? What would you like to see happening? Let's say in the next year.
I would love to see every business in Memphis call me at 312-6804.
Okay.
What I really like to emphasize, and we do this with employers, we're not asking if for openings or if they're hiring. What we like to do is a survey of their business so that we can see what might needs to be done so that we can do a good match with some of our pre-screened applicants. That's
Okay.
where that job carving, that's why how the job at Pizza Hut nationwide came into effect of building the boxes, discovering that the delivery drivers were having to build all the boxes, and it wasn't, you know, just a whole shredding or food prep or housekeeping in a hotel, that sort of thing. There's tax credits for companies and businesses
Yeah.
that hire people with disabilities.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some supermarkets out there that probably could use the service of some of those people that you use, because I have seen some,
Right.
and they might have been people that you have recommended, you know, who basically bag groceries and different things like that.
You know, the
So-
disability community here is large. And when they find out that a business hires a person with a disability, they become a patron of that business. And I can say that with all confidence. It's good business sense for a business to hire a person with a disability.
Oh, no question about it.
Absolutely.
No question about it. maybe this time next year you may not be here, lady. I'm going to spill the beans on you right now.
Okay.
She wants to retire.
Well,
but you know what? She's going to retire, all right, but she's going to come right back. You might just
She'll probably be a volunteer at some of our events.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be volunteer. She'll be sitting right there.
Or she'll be at the Grand Canyon with her family. Long overdue.
Well, you can only stay there you can only stay there so long, you know.
It is one of those bittersweet moments to consider because I love service with all my heart. It has my entire heart.
And you've been with CERT for how long?
16 years.
16 years? Mm-hmm. That's a long period of time. And I imagine the organization has come a long way in 16 years.
We've grown a lot. We've grown a lot. And I believe we've improved our quality a lot.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great. I'm hoping, like I said before, that you use this show to do any and everything you possibly can, bring in new clients, find new businesses to do business with, and also bring in more money and to keep this organization going because it's really needed. It's a necessity.
It absolutely is.
It's not something that a community say, well, we want this, we want this. No, you don't just want it, you need it. Right. Whether you know it or not, you really need it because if you weren't here, that would be a tremendous board, And just think of the people that are working in your organization now. I mean, the ones that you're helping, where would they be?
And we have over 900 employees. We have a waiting list of over 1,600 people.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people in Shelby County who are not on the waiting list. Their families are just struggling and they don't even understand services are available.
Yeah.
So there is a tremendous need.
Yeah, no question about it. And you guys are providing it. And how large is your staff?
That's what it's over 900 on our staff.
Oh, yeah. Your
and
staff
we support around 800 people.
You know.
It's a trickle down. If it doesn't exist, you've seen that. We've seen it all over the country. You know, it would be a trickle down.
Yeah.
I did want to say real quick that the workers out at the workshop, out at the outsourcing business, when this airs, they're always, Donna, saw y'all on TV with that Mr. Lacey.
That's great.
Lots of folks are watching
Oh,
your
they
show.
watch it, yes.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
And it's exciting to them.
Yeah, well, you know, I feel excited every time you come on and you talk about those stories. Like I said, the young lady and how well she's doing. Her family's got to feel great about that. And I know she's just excited herself. And you imagine, you know, you put on this earth for a purpose. You know, just put here to lounge around, you know, and pop your fingers and have a good time. You go to work every day. She goes to work every day, 5 days a week. You know, she earns everything she gets.
Most people want to be productive.
Sure they do.
Most people want to have something to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they want to be wanted. Either on the job, at home, wherever, they really want to be wanted.
And to be able to make that connection, because again, with supported employment, it is for people with most significant disabilities.
Yeah.
And they may not have a concept of money, but they understand working then takes me to the movies.
Sure.
To the restaurant. They become consumers.
Sure.
And shopping.
Sure.
You know, and it's huge.
Right.
It's huge.
And
because they've been living on such limited income.
Right. And on that note, we're going to have to say goodbye to, I got my paper here, Jeffrey Burton. She's the Executive Director of SRVS. And also Donna Palmer. She's the Executive Director of Employment Services for SRVS. So long, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Great. You're welcome.